good evening. I think we can start, right?
Okay, sir.
Okay. So we have with us Simi. As we know, this is one of the sessions which we are waiting for because we all were waiting for the marks, but of the CSC. But I think there is some Supreme Court judgment which is pending, because of which the UPSC has paused revealing all the marks of the selected candidates, as well as the non-selected candidates also. But I think the expected training of Labasna is starting from second week of October, so we have some paucity of time. So we thought, okay, let's have this session so that this year candidates as well as the next year candidates will get benefit out of this particular session. Because if you're targeting for 2021, अभी दिसंबर तक ही आपको ethics पढ़ना होगा या essay पढ़ना होगा. Usually in the month of February, March, April आप pre mode में चले जाओगे. और once it is between prelims and mains, so hardly we have 2.5 months next year. तो फिर आप उस पे focus नहीं करोगे. So we have with us Simi. इसके ethics का paper भी मैंने, well, although I'm an economics वाला faculty, but still इनके ethics का paper भी मैंने देखा था और essay का paper भी देखा था. So essay में I think so she will get very high marks this year. Marks आए नहीं है, but still it will be in the public domain. We'll see later on. But yes, essay में she's going to get very high marks in essay. Ethics में भी उनके answers अच्छे हैं. The USP, as I told you multiple times, of Simi is to give more and more examples. तो वही वाला उन्होंने philosophy अपना case studies और keywords theme wise I think so शायद उन्होंने essay के preparation किया था. So for example, when you are preparing for essay, so you should divide your essay का previous year essay analysis into various themes. तो आपने एक social capital का एक theme बना दिया जिसमें women education etc का एक लिया. Then second thing can be philosophical related one theme. Then it can be economic related one theme. So वो theme wise में हम suggest करते हैं. शायद सिमी ने भी ऐसा ही किया था. I'm not very sure, but yes. So theme wise preparation करेंगे so that related keywords आप लोग एक साथ में cram कर सकते हैं. Recallability अच्छी होती है उसकी etc. So वो that is regarding the essay and ethics के regarding I think Simi is the best person who will tell you कि कैसे करना है. So I think Simi, we should start about your strategy for I think we'll start from essay ethics.
So we can start with essay.
ठीक है बेटा. Okay, we'll start from essay वाला component.
Okay. So essay is something where you don't need to put in a lot of extra efforts. Your knowledge base is already created with your general studies papers. What you need to do now is to use that knowledge in a very creative manner and put in a little bit of effort for some other things that I'll tell you. Now, first you should start with your regular answer writing, and you should pick this up a little later after you've created that general knowledge base that we're talking about. Now, I did not go for reinventing the wheel. I did not do something out of the ordinary. I just followed what a lot of our seniors suggested. So I saw a lot of toppers copies initially. So people who secured well in this stage in essay paper, and the flow of their answers, the kind of topics they were picking up. So I think some seniors whose copies you can also see are Anudeep Durishetty sir, Shreyansh Kumar sir, and Soumya Sharma ma'am, because they have written very good essays. So now coming to what extra I prepared for essay as such. Firstly, I went through Anudeep Durishetty sir's notes. So he has created a list of all the probable topics, like sir talked about, the topics related to social capital, philosophical, economic, artificial intelligence, those kind of topics. And then he has also created some good ideas of introducing and concluding the essay along with good headings. Now, the importance of headings we will discuss later. So this is something you can go through Anudeep Durishetty sir's notes. Then another thing that which is very good.
सिमी बेटा sources भी बताते जाओ साथ में, कहाँ से मिला था, जहाँ से भी आपको मिले थे इनके notes.
जी सर. सर Anudeep Durishetty sir के notes तो उनकी ही website एक है. So if you search it Anudeep Durishetty UPSC करके, then you will find that website. There you can find the sources. Other than that, in terms of examples, यहाँ पे you have a lot more diversity as compared to general studies. यहाँ पे you can use many other sources which will make your answer more unique, so to say. So आप famous लोगों के examples दे सकते हैं, अपने life के examples दे सकते हैं, कोई current incidents को अगर आप relate कर पाए तो वो बहुत ही अच्छा हो जाएगा. So those kind of examples. उसके लिए जैसे here you can go for reading moral stories जो हम बचपन में पढ़ा करते थे, जैसे कि जात का टेल्स, कथा सरिता सागर, पंचतंत्र. इसमें These are very beautiful, simple stories, but they can act as nice examples. So I chose the topic for the first essay. I chose the topic courage to accept and dedication to improve are two keys for success. So there I gave the example of the spider that always tried to climb up and yet fell down, but again and again it kept trying till it reached its goal. So that kind of stories you can easily pick up from these sources. Then if someone is preparing from a longer term perspective, let's say 2 or 3 years, they can also read a lot of books which will be helpful. So like for example, right now I'm reading this book India Unbound by Gurucharan Das. So in that I came across this concept that America is a nation of joiners, that they will come together to do some activity. Now this is a beautiful example that I can use in my suggestions or conclusion part, that Guru Charan Das suggests that we should become a country of joiners like America. So these are your unique examples which no one else will have. So when you're reading a book, you can just briefly note down, one page summary of whatever good examples or ideas you're getting from that book. I'll be mentioning some books on my blog, so whoever is interested can see them. Sudha Murthy ma'am's books are amazing.
We'll share the link of her blog. Sorry, I'm
Right.
interrupting you.
Yes. So Sudha Murthy's books are very good. Even they carry very realistic, very moral-oriented stories. Then for history or mythological examples, you can read Devdutt Patnayak's books. So they also carry good examples. Uh, Other than that, you have this book called by Guru Charan Das again, The Difficulty of Being Good. That deals with Mahabharat from an ethical perspective. So that will also be a very interesting read. Other than that, on my Facebook feed, on the top of my feed, I used to keep these quote pages, or thebetterindia.com, Civil Services Day, whatever awards they are getting, those side of websites on top of my page. So whenever I'm scrolling through, if I come across a good quote or a good example, I used to write that down. So that could be a good way of, expanding your sources. Other than that, again, you have these prime minister and president speeches, the kind of keywords that they use, they will be very helpful in terms of concluding the essay. So these are not something which was like a whole preparation sort of like we do for GS, but these were just value addition which were making my essay more unique. So now, how do you take feedback? I think for essay, you should take feedback from seniors, from teachers, from someone else. You can either join a test series or take it from your seniors or teachers, because when we read an essay, we may not necessarily understand what the demand of the exam is. So if we get a third party perspective in that sense, it is very helpful. You can even show it to your parents or some layman, so that you understand whether you are not going too technical, because people from arts optional, they tend to use too many words, too many scholars from their optional. That should not be the case. It should not become a scholarly paper. It should be in a simple prose style. Now coming to the writing style, there are certain differences between the GS and essay paper. I did not prefer using bullet points at all. I did not prefer putting flow charts. I did not prefer using diagrams. And primarily because I think essay requires you to weave a story sort of. It wants you to engage with the readers. And when you're putting in this kind of diagram or bullet points, it sort of breaks that flow. It's like writing a story basically, or a simple speech you would tell to someone. So you should be able to engage with the reader, and at the same time don't miss out on the flow. Now some people tend to throw a lot of facts, lot of data that they have. Yes, it's good to have that data, and I also used a lot of data in my answer, but that should come in a very logical manner. It should not be like a general studies answer where we are putting out the facts as such, whatever we know. It should not be like that. And again, the language should be as simple as possible, so that even a layman, when he or she is reading it, it should be perfectly understandable to them. Now again, essays carry a much more greater diversity in terms of interpretation. So when you're reading GS papers, you see the challenges, you write the solutions, but here you can probably bring in the historical angle, the ethical angle to it. So there's a huge diversity that you can explore, and I'll tell you later how I did that. Now, interlinking again is something very important from one para to another that we will discuss later on. Uh, what is common with general studies is, again, you will be using a lot of examples. But like I said, you will have to weave it in a story, not throw it on the reader. So again, there cannot be a single framework for writing these answers, especially the essays, because the kind of questions they ask these years, you must have seen that you have to take in a philosophical essay, even if you are not comfortable with it. So this structure will vary from essay to essay. Now, how do we choose a topic? I think the most important factor that should be kept in mind is whether you are understanding the meaning or not. A lot of seniors I have heard from a lot of seniors that they missed out on getting good marks in essay because their interpretation went wrong. That should not be the case. You should not run after a unique topic thinking that a lot of people may not attempt it. Always take a topic which you're comfortable in, and most importantly, you understand very well. So this can be quite difficult in philosophical essays. So that should be kept in mind. Now, always give equal time to both the essays. Otherwise, of course, that imbalance will definitely reflect on your answer. Now, next stage that we do is we go for a brainstorming. So some people, maybe they start writing the answer immediately. I did not do that. I gave like a good 25 minutes to write down whatever thoughts were coming to my mind, and then structure it at the back of the copy. You have that space, and then I used to write the answer. So how do you brainstorm? First thing that you need to do is, when you're writing such a big, you're writing for 10, 12 pages, it should have a proper structure. Now, how did I bring that structure? I started asking myself questions. Let's say I'm reading one particular heading, whatever kind of questions, the what, the why, what was in the past, what will happen in the future, what is the present situation, how can I improve it, is it even possible, what are the consequences of this, what are the causes of these. So all kinds of questions that you think might be relevant at that point, you put them down. Later you will convert these questions into your subheadings, and they will give a good structure to your answer. Next thing I used to do was, I tried to jot down as many examples, case studies, data, facts, quotes, anything or everything that came to my mind. I simply wrote that down. Then I used to interlink these two, the kind of questions that I've asked and the examples or the data that I have. So I'm putting the relevant examples and case studies to the relevant headings. So by this time, you have more or less a basic crude structure for your answer ready. This is kind of basically like a jigsaw. You have to just put the right things in the right place, and you more or less have a structure ready. The essay topics that I chose in the actual exam were courage to accept and dedication to improve are two keys to success. And the second was neglect of primary healthcare and education in India are reasons for its backwardness. Now, coming to the introduction and conclusion. As we all know, introduction and conclusion are important for a general studies answer, but in an essay, it becomes much more important, because it will determine how interested the person checking your copy will be when he's seeing the essay. So, what I did was, I tried to prepare some of the headings, some of the introductions and conclusions beforehand. So this exercised my mind to do, when I exercised my mind to do that a lot, in the actual exam, I could come up with a good introduction and conclusion quickly. So if we so here also, sir, in between in the classes, he used to give us these particular topics which might come as an essay. So I used to write them down, and later I used to think about some good introduction or conclusion that might be relevant to it. So the first most basic kind of introduction could be a definition. So one year I remember there was a question on the new woman or modern woman. So there it is an interpretative essay. How do you interpret a woman to be, a modern woman to be? And there you can start with a definition. But I did not personally prefer starting with a definition. Another thing that you can do is start with a quote. Um, but it should be perfectly relevant to your answer. It should not be like पैचवर्क नहीं होना चाहिए कि कहीं से भी कोई भी एक टॉपिक ले आके you are bringing in the quote and trying to fit it with the essay. If it is highly relevant, only then go with the quotes. Next, one thing that I used to use a lot was starting with a paradox or sort of a contradiction. So my second essay, neglect of primary healthcare and education, There I gave this sort of comparison that India is known for medical tourism and its big multi-speciality hospitals, and yet this percentage of our population lacks the primary health care. India has so many well-renowned IITs, IIMs, etc., and yet this many children. India has the largest number of out-of-school children in India. So this kind of paradox, and followed by questions: what is the reason for this kind of situation? Does that boon well for this nation? These kind of questions can form a good introduction, and it is also a very eye-catching introduction. Now, another thing can be starting with the real life story of a famous personality. So this can be used a lot in a philosophical essay. So the first essay that I started, Courage to Accept and Dedication to Improve, there I used this example that she was always considered an underdog. Even in the Olympics, she had to settle for a silver. Everyone used to question her capabilities, and yet she had the courage to accept her present situation, weaving it that way. And finally, she got her redemption when she won the world championship in badminton. When she became the first Indian to win world championship in badminton, she is none other than PV Sindhu. Now that was a very current example. It had happened probably like 1 or 2 weeks before that, and it was the story of a famous personality. So that becomes a very interesting introduction. Now, another way can be like, again, for philosophical essays, can be the moral stories that we read. So, if let's say the story is about greed, so then we can start with the story of Midas Golden Touch. So, he was a king who was, he loved gold a lot. And when he was given a boon by by the god, he chose to turn anything that he touched into gold. And later on ended turning his own daughter into gold. So that is a very beautiful introduction, and it shows the kind of interest that you've had in the non like the most significant whatever basic that you're studying for preparation. Other than that also, you have a good knowledge, you have a good idea of whatever is happening around you, whatever the other kind of moral stories that we have. Another thing can be starting with a story. Now, this can be a little bit tricky because if you don't practice that beforehand, then you can end up writing a very long, vague sort of story which is not relevant. So, you should practice that beforehand. So, let's say there is a story question on environment. There, you can write some story of a poor girl living in the coastal areas of Odisha, and then when the cyclone came, her house blew away, and so she had a dream of becoming a pilot, but that simply drowned with the cyclone. That kind of emotional story you can bring in. So one thing that I had thought in this particular question, the second one, neglect of primary healthcare and education later on, was that right then there was this issue of a lychee children dying because of eating lychee in Muzaffarnagar. I had used that later on in my essay, but this could have made a very good introduction if I had introduced, let's say, a character, Lata, who was a little girl who used to play in the lychee farms of Muzaffarnagar. And one day after eating lychee, she fell sick. Now, the prime reason a major concern there was the fact that these kids were malnourished. And why were they malnourished? Why was the immediate healthcare that needed to be provided? Why was that not available? What was the kid doing in the plantation in the first place? Why was she not in a primary school? So these kind of questions, that is very highly relevant to my topic, and this could have made a good introduction. But again, if you don't practice that beforehand, then you might write a very vague story. um, now, another type of introduction, this can be in technological sort of questions, is you build a scenario. What will happen when AI comes to India? So, in sitting in the comfort of your home, you can turn on the TV, you can have a fitness tracker, you can monitor the traffic, you can do a lot of things sitting in the comfort of your home. So, you can weave a scenario, what will happen if AI comes to India? So, now I've given you so many different types of introductions. If you practice, like even for 10-15 topics, if you practice these kind of introductions, you can do a very good introduction in a very short time in the actual exam. Now, moving on to the body. So like I said earlier, we had written down some questions. Now I converted those questions into my subheadings. When we are writing these subheadings for an essay, I think we should use a bit of our imagination. So rather than simply writing way forward or conclusion, we can come up, or what are the consequences or the issues, we can come up with these kind of headings. Let's say uh, AI, a double-edged sword, or two sides of the coin. Or if you're writing towards the conclusion, you can write towards a brighter future, or putting up this question, what does the future hold? So this stands for a very eye-catchy introduction and eye-catchy heading, and I used to box the headings. So that used to stand out, and it gave a very good structure to my essay as well. Another thing can be like, where do we go from here? So these are the questions that I have converted into headings. So you can do this as well. Now, again, like I said, you can use examples, you can use national, international examples, your own experience. Try to use the reports, the ARC, whatever you've studied in general studies, try to use it, but don't miss out on the flow. Now, what do I mean by flow? Here, I mean, so when you're ending one paragraph, one section, and you're moving on to the next section, the other heading, there has to be a connector sentence in between. So I used to end my sections with a question. Let's say we are talking about like my first question, the courage to accept and dedication to improve. And there I want to see what was actually happening in the past. Was this quote actually applicable back then? So I will end the previous essay, previous subsection by saying, what lessons does the past provide us? Did we follow some different mantra, or the mantra holds true in the, held true in the past as well? And then I can write the heading as lessons from the past and move on to the next heading. Even in the next heading, when you're starting the heading, you can start with a quote. That makes an interesting and eye-catchy introduction. So I tried as much as possible, starting with a quote and ending with a question. Ending with a question really does, fill that connector or sort of flow that people say we miss out on when we write an essay. Now, some dimensions that you should definitely explore in any essay is firstly the historical angle, like what are the lessons from the past? What is the ethical dimension? Either if it's a philosophical essay, you anyhow have to do it. But even if it is not, if it's, let's say, environment related, climate related, AI related, you can bring in the ethical dimension. And when we are discussing your solutions, so like the question on primary healthcare and education, you have to say what further can be done to improve the condition. You definitely should try to bring in the community and the behavioral aspect. That sort of adds an extra edge to whatever else suggestions you've given. Because those are the generic suggestions you will write in a GS paper as well. Diagrams, again, like I said, I did not personally prefer. Now coming to the conclusion. So again, conclusions, there can be multiple ways of ending it depending upon the nature of the essay. So one can be, you try to paint a picture of two contrasting worlds. Let's say there's a question on environment, and there's this question on what will be the damage issues from the damage that is being done to the environment. There we can say that, let's say there are two contrasting worlds. First is where the kids will see the animals in a zoo and the plants in a nursery, and the other contrasting picture will be one where you can see lush green gardens and huge forests where children run around and play in the green parks in the evening. So these are two contrasting images that you're giving to the people, and they have to decide for themselves which future do they want. Another can be futuristic, so like using a quote like by Tagore, where the mind is held without fear and the head is where the mind is without fear and the head is held high. Those kind of quotes also make for a good conclusion. Another one, for example, is Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina. That entire quote can be used. One more way can be urging for action. So you have to bring in an action oriented conclusion. So I remember one essay that I ended was with Greta Thunberg's words that I don't want your hope. I want you to fear. I want to act like your house is on fire. So these kind of words, they are very action oriented and they arouse you to take steps for for solving the issue. And another very good way is, if you're starting with a story, you can connect it in the conclusion. So like the story that we talked about, the girl like Lata, then we can say that thousands of girls like kids like Lata will not have to lose out on a childhood and all their dreams if we set up a good public healthcare and education system. So connecting with the introduction with a conclusion can also be very good. So I think this was basically for the essay, but some pointers I really want to give for a philosophical essay, because like we've seen from the past 2 years, the way the questions are given, you compulsorily have to take a philosophical essay. Now, personally, I'm not very good at it. I'm not good at expressing myself in too many words in these kind of essays. And whatever suggestions I was getting from most seniors, I heard was that you should try and bring in as many examples as possible. Right. So I was doing that. But even after that, I realized that my answer was not getting a good structure the way, my other essays were coming out to be. So I sort of tried out a different way. Firstly, I chose such an essay where I could completely understand the meaning right to the single word, and I did not have a very narrow interpretation. So some essays, I remember this time the kind of questions that were asked, I simply could not understand the meaning, and I simply cut them out because I knew if I was going with this kind of topic, I will miss out on a lot of aspects, and then that will be a very narrow essay. So try to pick up a topic which is easy for you to understand, which you can express in a lot of words. Now, even when I was choosing a topic, I was trying to find an essay where I could be analytical about it. So what I mean by analytical is that I tried to come up with good arguments, and with the arguments, I was substantiating it with examples. So I will give you an example. I chose the topic courage to accept and dedication to improve are the two keys to success. So what I did was initially after the introduction, I tried to explain what is the relevance of the two keys to success. So my first subheading was courage to accept. So there I said that if you have this key, then it defines the start of your journey. There I gave the example how we make New Year resolutions, but we never end up fulfilling them. Then it removes the sense of denial. If it gives you the real picture of what is at hand. It helps you deal and cope up with failure. It helps you learn and grow from your failures. So you can see these are analytical points. These are arguments that I'm using to substantiate the topic courage to accept. And similarly, I explained the topic dedication to improve. So I was always trying to pick up a topic where I can, bring in more arguments. Now, another thing that I did here was I sort of had a brief framework in mind how I'll go about it. So first I gave an introduction, then like I explained the two keys to success. So first part will be your introduction. Second part basically will go into explaining the quote. When you're explaining the quote, you will try to bring in as many arguments as possible and substantiate it with examples. Next section was again bringing in examples, but much more diverse aspects. So here you can simply think about all the syllabus topics that you have in GS: historical, geographical, societal, economic, etc. And from each topic, if you can think about one example that will be relevant to this particular quote, that will be very useful. Now again, I was trying to structure the examples into different headings. So you can go like how the quote is relevant at individual level, then at national level, and then at international level, or how the quote was relevant in the past, how it's relevant at the present, and how it will always remain relevant in the future. So if you structure the examples, it gives much more, it gives a better definition to your essay, and it does not seem like you're simply going haywire. After this, if let's say it's some negative value, it's some poor, like it's about greed or envy, then you can talk about its consequences. What happens if you have that value in you, and what is the way out? How do you resolve it? So if you see a greedy person, what do you do about it? How can you make the world a better place? How can you make the world a less greedy place? That will be your conclusion section. And if it's a positive value, you've already talked about, like in my answer I talked about how it is relevant in the past and what are some of the sections where I can use it in the future. So here I gave the example of like the Chandrayaan mission, that in the past when our first space mission failed, APJ Abdul Kalam, he was the mission head. He put in a lot of hard work so that the next mission was successful, and this was possible because he had those two keys of success, and this has a very deep meaning for the Chandrayaan mission that recently failed. And then you can give examples from the climate change, for example. So I gave the example that if you see the present scenario in the world, uh, the leaders are in a denial mode. They do not have the courage to accept their present situation. So here, how India can pick up the stand, and how India can be a front runner, a leader, an example of sorts for other countries to follow. So this is where you can bring in, where you can apply it in real life, and what happens once you start applying it, how you start achieving your goals, how you lead a more successful life, how you lead a more happy life. So this kind of points you can bring in your essay. And I guess this was all that I had from my side in the essay section. So can we move on to the ethics topic?
Yeah, beta, yeah, please. We'll start.
So again, like GS4 or the ethics topic, if you put in a little bit of hard work.
Before you start ethics, let me tell you that these are one of the most, relevant and inspiring words which I heard out of so many years. Individually, मैं call करके बताऊंगा, but how it was not only, I don't know how much beneficial it was for the students, but it was beneficial for me a lot. पूरे notes बनाए हैं मैंने. Anyways, yeah, please continue.
So again, GS4, if you put in a little bit of extra hard work with whatever content you are reading, you can you can really improve the way you're writing your answer and the way you're expressing yourself. Because again, GS4 and essay both are the how you express yourself, that becomes very important. So I'll first talk about my sources. For the theory section, I had read the Lukman IAS class notes. They are available in the market. Printouts are available in the market. Then there's this second ARC report on ethics and governance. That again, I had read the summary of it. There's this book called Decode Civils by Mudit Jain. So here, this is something I was trying for this attempt, but I think it has some very good examples and answers, model
Sorry,
answers.
I'm interrupting you in between, but Mudit Jain के GS के answers थोड़े अभी कम relevant हैं, but they're still good. The way he makes his notes and all. He was one of the candidates who fetched almost 470, 480, 490 marks in GS for continuous years. तो ethics वाली book उसकी काफी अच्छी है, मतलब मैंने वो देखी है, so I know. बाकी तो मैंने पढ़ा नहीं है, but yeah, Mudit Jain is really good. Yeah, please.
The examples, especially in that, are very good, that you will not get in books like lexicon. So from that perspective, because someone qualified has selected. So again, here I try to bring in the examples of bureaucrats. Now, why this is important is because in the future, you yourself are going to become a bureaucrat. So if you can have a rich repository of, let's say, simply 10 to 15 examples of individuals who've done some very good work, and link it with the values, the civil service foundational values, then it becomes very relevant. So for that, I had, like I said, on my Facebook feed, the betterindia.com was on the top of my page. And then the Civil Services Day, every year it is celebrated, and the best examples or the model solutions people, the civil servants who have brought in, they are rewarded. So those examples can be used. For case studies, Lukman IAS again class में जो whatever study notes they are given, whatever case study class notes are given, they are very good. And again, I try to bring in case studies, model examples from my general answers, general sources, whatever GS studies I had read. And anything extra, again, if you have some time, if you are preparing for 2-3 years, one book like we discussed earlier was Gurucharan Das' book, Difficulty of Being Good. One lecture, this is a lecture series, Harvard lecture series by Michael Sandel on justice. These are very interesting because, you know, they give you a very good clarity of the kind of dilemmas that an individual might face when given a particular situation. And it really helps you think a lot about these issues. And I think for GS4, thinking a lot, discussing these kind of dilemmas, because there is no perfect answer. Any answer that you can justify is correct for you. So thinking a lot about these answers in a very logical, in a good argumentative manner is important. Other than that, there's a book called Not Just a Civil Servant and Ethical Dilemmas by Anil Swarup. There are some very good examples in that you can directly put in your answers. Then there's this book, which is one of my personal favorites. It's by an IAS officer called Sumita Dora. She has written this book, Poor but Spirited in Karimnagar, Field Notes of a Civil Servant. I think this book is very relevant from case studies, the second section of the paper, because these are practical issues that an IS officer has faced in the field. So if you can read these kind of books, it really helps you understand the demand of this paper. Now again, I saw the toppers answer copies. Soumya Sharma ma'am really writes very good answers for general GS4 and both essay. So her copies you can see. Other than that, Siddharth Jain sir has a video in Vision IS on mastering case studies. So the kind of examples, the way, the thought process that he has discussed there, it helped me a lot in building my own answers. Shreyansh Kumar sir's suggestions, both suggestions and the answers that he has written, again you can see them. Why these toppers copies are important is because they are a very good very good source of keywords and examples. And you don't need to go about finding unique examples. You can simply put them in your actual answer and you're good to go. Now here syllabus and previous year questions become very relevant because there are lots of repetitive questions. So there are repetitions in the other three papers, but here there are lots of repetitions. So if you are simply preparing the answers of whatever previous year questions are asked, almost 60% of your job is done. So that level of repetition is there. Now here, like I said earlier, you need to try to build an opinion. So let's say there's a question which is very commonly asked, is the means versus ends debate. Now you will have to take a stand in the answer whether you support the means point of view or the ends point of view. But you cannot substantiate your point if you've not discussed or you've not thought it through. So if you have friends or your family members or your seniors or your teachers with whom you can sit down and discuss your point of view, why do you think the means is more important or the ends is more important, and simply write down the arguments that you give, that helps you substantiate answer in the exact actual paper. So here you could have simply brought in like Amartya Sen's debate on Krishna's point of view versus Arjun's point of view, which is basically a means versus ends debate. Now other than that, when we talked about note making, what extra I did other than reading these sources was, so when you're seeing the syllabus, you'll see a lot of keywords. There's integrity, compassion, empathy, honesty, etc. So for every keyword, you write down the definition and your own interpretation. I think your own interpretation is very important because it helps you clarify in your mind what it stands for you. Next, what are the different types of those values? So let's say accountability. There can be vertical accountability. There can be horizontal accountability. There can be upward accountability. There can be social accountability. So these different types, you can write it down. If let's say we are talking about integrity, there's personal integrity, there's professional integrity, there's institutional integrity. So what will happen is you again have a very good rich repository of keywords. Then next will be like quotes or phrases relevant to that value. So if let's say for integrity, we can say Kathni or Karni rahe ek si. So this is something I picked up from one of the toppers copies, I remember, or some of his sample notes. So again, you should try and find these kinds of quotes. Next, what do the thinkers have to say about this? So like Gandhi said, happiness is when what we believe, what we speak, and what we do are in complete harmony. This can be a quote for integrity value. Next is when you're talking about examples. Here also you have a very huge variety, very huge diversity that you can explore here. So I'll tell you, you can take examples from history, you can take from mythology, Ramayana, Mahabharata, you can take from current examples. So I remember there was this question on what are the values in public life that you should show. So there was one value that I said was empathy. And I gave the example of the Prime Minister consoling the director of ISRO for, when there was this failure of Chandrayaan mission, when he sort of, had a breakdown after the mission, it did not succeed the way they wanted it to. Now that is a huge value that is very important for any public figure, for anyone in the public life. But I gave a very current example to it. Next is movies. So if you're someone who watches a lot of movies, you can say from any example you've seen, there is some or the other value or lesson that can be learned. And these are, I sort of, sat down one day and tried to recall whatever movies that I found, touched my heart, and try to learn whatever value I could learn from it. So then next is sports or whatever your hobby is. So like Mudit Jain sir used to say a lot about sports cricket related values. So if there's some hobby that you're personally too engrossed in and you have a lot of knowledge about it, then you can bring in examples from that perspective. Next can be famous people's lives. Like we talked earlier, PV Sindhu. Then you have Steve Jobs, you have Bill Gates. You have so many different examples that you can bring in your answers.
But avoid the political figures. Sorry, I'm
Okay.
interrupting. Yeah.
Avoid the political figures. Like for example, if you have any role model, you know a lot about that person. So my role model is Sudha Murthy. So I know a lot about her personal stories, her personal life. So I can relate it a lot. Then,
Also avoid the political bureaucrats. When I say political bureaucrats, in the sense that bureaucrats having some political inclinations or which are too much in news. I don't want to name these bureaucrats, but हाँ ठीक है. अगर किसी का 40-50 times transfer हो रहा है, etc. and also उसको थोड़ा सा avoid करेंगे हम लोग. Yeah, please.
next is from your own life. If you had any professional work experience or even from your personal whatever your personal journey has been so far, whatever your experience are in school, your college days, you can try and bring out some examples from that. And the final one, like we discussed earlier, the bureaucrats. These can be your real, brownie points in your answer. Like in answer writing, I preferred starting with the case studies because I thought that I can think about the solutions in a better manner if I am not running on this time pressure. But this is a personal preference. You can start it the way you want. Here again, if in terms of introduction, you can explore a little bit in terms of like, giving quotes or examples rather than simply starting with the definition. Then the main body, whether you write in bullets or paragraph, I think this is a very personal choice. If the question is asking you to give examples, then you can probably give bullet points. Or if it's asking for the difference between two values or something like that, then you can definitely go with paragraph form, whichever you are comfortable in. Next is again examples. Try to bring in as much, anything from general studies, try to bring in as much examples as possible. This year there was this question on public funds and misuse or underutilization. So I brought in the modernization of police force, how those funds are not utilized very well. So that kind of example. Then, okay, when you're writing answers in these questions, try to bring in the ethical perspective. Even if it's a question on governance issue, corporate governance, environmental governance, any kind of governance question, try and bring in an ethical issue, because this paper is about your ethical point of view. So if you highlight that, it sort of stands out your answer. It gives you definition in terms of where you stand on this issue. Again, flowchart diagrams, they will add very good points if you can use them. I had not practiced that well for GS4, so I was unable to use that. That also reflects that if you don't practice it beforehand, it will be very difficult for you to directly go into the exam and practice and use it in the answers. So again, for example, diagrams, I remember this year I was reading Mudit Jain sir's book. There are some very good diagrams that you can use. Now, I did some amount of research.
Sorry, I'm interrupting. Regarding the diagrams, we have a session of Ritika last year on our YouTube channel. So how to draw diagrams in ethics, especially उनका एक सेशन है, उसको देख लेना. She wrote very good. छोटे-छोटे से diagram बनाने होते हैं आपको. Just देखो, diagrams cannot replace the content वाला part, but diagrams can fetch you extra 5 to 10 marks. उतना ही relevance रखना है आपको उनका, उससे ज़्यादा नहीं हो. Yeah, please.
Now for case studies, first thing that you should keep in mind is please strictly adhere to the time limit. Even if you think you can write very awesome answer in one case study and you miss out on the next one, then it's absolutely a wasting out on 20 marks. So don't do that mistake. Even if you're writing a little better than average answers, they're good enough. Now the basic structure, it will slightly vary in terms of the questions demand, if there's merits, demerits kind of question, or the course of action. But you can have some basic structure that we will discuss. Now, one thing that I tried to do earlier beforehand was you can classify the previous year questions into different headings. So there are some questions on corporate governance. There are some questions on societal aspect. There are some questions on the civil service foundational values. There were one or two questions on RTI. So I think this is already divided on Runal sir's page. So there you can simply go and see the different headings that you have. Now, when you're writing the answer, there'll be two kind of points that you'll have to write. First will be identifying the challenges, the issues, and the second will be putting in those keywords, those ethical values, foundational values that you've learned in paper one, part A, paper part one. So, but the challenge that I was facing initially was I was not immediately able to recall or connect the right keyword with with the relevant question. So for this, what I did was this year I was trying to do was for every like let's say the topic is environmental ethics. So I wrote down like 10 keywords which I have to definitely bring it in the answer. First can be like the public trust doctrine, the culture of disregard, or triple bottom line, planet profit, people planet profit. So these kind of keywords, I when I'm seeing them over and over again in these particular headings, I will remember that whenever I see the question, I will know that this is a question of environmental ethics, and I have to bring these keywords in. Then again, if it's a question on social justice, you can bring in collaborative governance, you can bring in micro governance, street governance, care ethics. These kind of keywords we don't immediately recall in the actual exam. The more you see them, the more you practice them, the better it will be in the actual answer. Now, uh, so another thing when you're reading the question, you have to keep in mind is what is your position. Are you the district collector? Are you the SP? Are you a common man? Because in every role that you have, your reach, your capability of doing will differ. So if you're simply a common person suggesting what you can do for the, if you're suggesting what can be done, then you're thinking from the community perspective, from the societal perspective, not from the administration perspective. And so there was this question on narcotics, I remember, in our paper. And I remember the question was that you are an IPS officer and not an IS officer. And how will you deal with the issue? So in the initial stage itself, I wrote that I will take the district administration or the district collector into account. I'll take him along. I'll inform him whatever is the plan. And then with his support, you will go forward. If you don't write this and you simply start writing, I'll bring in behavioral change, I'll bring in awareness campaigns, this is not the work of an IPS officer. You probably might be related to the law and order issue, but you can diversify your answer by saying that you will bring in the district administration. Now for the introduction, again, you can use constitutional values, any law, any judgment that has been passed, the keywords, the values that we said, like we learned earlier, or which type of topic this belongs to, like this is a case of medical ethics, this is a case of biotechnological ethics, those kind of words. And if there's some recent example to link with it, so that is something you can bring in. Then when you're going for stakeholders, the next step will be going for stakeholders. So here you have to try and keep a big broader perspective. Now what I mean by that is, let's say there's a question where some hotel owner is doing something wrong and you are supposed to go and investigate. Now there might not be just one hotel owner who is doing that. There might be some other hotel owners who have not come into account, who not been taken into account, but they might also be doing the same wrong act. So they become a stakeholder. Now there might be some honest hotel walas who are suffering because of these wrong ones. So they become another stakeholder. So these stakeholders have to be taken account into. So you have to slightly keep your perspective in thinking the stakeholders a bit broader. Next, it will be the stage where you will identify the ethical issues or dilemmas or whatever challenges are present in the question. Try to be specific to the question, don't digress a lot. And here you can bring in your keywords like we were discussing earlier. Now according to the question, you'll either have to select an option where you'll have to write the merits, demerits, or you'll have to suggest a course of action solution. So this will be the next part. And when you're writing merits, demerits, one challenge that we face is कि repetitive हो जाता है कि एक का merit becomes the demerit of the next one. तो थोड़ा आगे तक का सोचते हुए taking maybe 2-3 points in each one, ताकि you have a diversity of values, you have diversity of ideas that you've put in. Don't try to avoid repeating the same words again. That should be, again, this is something which comes through practice. So now when you're thinking about solutions, now first thing that you have to keep in mind is they should be very practical. अब ऐसा नहीं है कि यू आर द एसपी ऑफ अ डिस्ट्रिक्ट एंड तुम बोलोगे कि मैं सीबीआई इंक्वायरी बुला दूंगा, दैट इज नॉट गोइंग टू हैपन. So you should know the limits of the position that you are actually in. So there are some DKT videos on like what is the role of an SDM, what is the role of a DC, what is the role of an SP. That videos you can see to get an idea कि what is the extent of your power, to what extent you can take steps. ये आपको वहां से idea मिल जाएगा. Then I remember one day I was talking to sir and we were trying to understand कि एक crowd management या mob violence वाले situation में क्या करना होता है. So then he got me into contact with an IPS officer and he told me the right order of जैसे कि सबसे पहले you give a mic announcement कि please जगह खाली कर दीजिए. Then comes maybe पानी throw करना, then comes tear gas and whatever the right logical order is. So when you're suggesting the answer in your answer the course of action, let's say to deal with a mob violence, तो तुम immediately नहीं बोलोगे कि जाके हमको गोली मारनी चालू करनी है. That is absolutely not acceptable. Any extreme step should be kept only as the last resort, and इसमें right order, right way of dealing with things becomes important. Now again यहाँ पे आप actual civil servants के examples ला सकते हैं. So there was this question on flood emergency in the exam, जिसमें there was a situation जहाँ पे जाके उनसे बात करके उनको सही सलामत लाना था. So there I gave the example of Krishna Teja. He is an IS officer in Kerala and he did a very good job in the Kerala floods. तो ये चीज ऐसे examples अगर आप अपने आंसर में ला पाए तो these are very good. Then solutions जब आप discuss कर रहे हैं, some pointers that you can keep in mind is आप behavioral aspect जरूर लेके आइए. behavioral से मतलब ये है कि persuasion को किस तरह से यूज करेंगे, social influence को कैसे यूज करेंगे, reward and punishment जो हम carrot and stick policy बोलते हैं वो कैसे यूज किया जाएगा. And when you're talking about behavioral change, it should be among all the stakeholders, it should be among all the individuals who are working in your department, it should be in the community, it should be in some other third party stakeholders who are involved. Then next is institutional, basically कि funds, functions and functionaries, इसमें आप किस तरह से change लाएंगे, इसको आप किस तरह से improve करेंगे, ये एक step हो सकता है. Another can be technological. तो जैसे sir always used to highlight in the class कि technology is only a means, it's not an end in itself. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि अगर आपको education का issue बोला और आपने सारे टेक्नोलॉजी के सजेशन दे दिए, बट यस देयर कैन बी वन वेरी गुड पॉइंट ऑन द डिजिटल स्मार्ट बोर्ड or whatever digital initiatives, MOOCs, massive open online courses, Swayam portal. This can be one point, but this is one aspect you can bring in. This should not be your entire answer. Then जैसे कि narcotics वाला जो question था, so there I wrote the solutions in demand and supply format कि demand side से हम इस तरह से deal कर सकते हैं and supply side से हम इस तरह से deal कर सकते हैं. Because what is happening today, if you know about how the drug issue is generally handled, is कि हम supply पे tackle करते हैं. We try to track down the mafias, we try to track down the fields where these are being grown, but we forget कि there's this huge demand from the general youth. That is why these rackets are running. वैसे ही जैसे कि गुजरात में you have a lot of demand for liquor and that's why illicit liquor is growing. So you have to tackle the demand side as well. And how do you tackle the demand side? Is by engaging these youth in some productive activities, by changing their behavior. तो ये चीज को आपको highlight करना चाहिए. Another thing that you should definitely try to bring in is the preventive aspect. आपने प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व कर दिया, जैसे फ्लड वाले क्वेश्चन में द प्रॉब्लम गेट सॉल्व बाय गिविंग सम स्टेप्स, बट हाउ डू एंश्योर कि नेक्स्ट टाइम जब फ्लड होता है ये चीज वापस रिपीट ना हो. फॉर दैट थिंग you can talk about the early warning system that has been developed in Odisha, or you can talk about weather prediction models जो अभी टेक्नोलॉजी वगैरह डेवलप हो रही है, सैटेलाइट नेविक नेटवर्क वगैरह जो डेवलप हो रहा है उसको कैसे डिप्लॉय करके, या फिर लोकल रेस्क्यू टीम्स, लोकल गवर्नेंस, लोकल लेवल पे हम इतना स्ट्रेंथन कर देंगे कि दे कैन टेक केयर ऑफ देमसेल्व्स. एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन डज नॉट हैव टू इंटरवीन ऑल द टाइम. तो ये प्रिवेंटिव फ्यूचरिस्टिक सॉल्यूशंस होने चाहिए, प्रैक्टिकल होने चाहिए, दे कैन एक्चुअली गेट एग्जीक्यूटेड. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए इट्स समथिंग बियॉन्ड योर जुरिसडिक्शन. नेक्स्ट इज एक्सट्रीम स्टेप्स ओनली एज अ लास्ट रिसोर्ट. अगेन अगर आप यहाँ पे एथिकल प्रिंसिपल्स ला पाए दैट विल बी वेरी गुड. One example I remember I had seen in Soumya Sharma ma'am's copy was the harm principle. Harm principle by Bhiku Parekh. What it means is कि आप उन सारे activities को allow करेंगे which is not creating some nuisance, which is not creating any issues in the society. So वहाँ पे there was this question on African people coming in, practicing their culture in the society, and people are getting worried because of that. तो हम वहाँ पे harm principle ला सकते हैं कि अगर वो ऐसी activities है which are not hampering the law and order, the regular situation that is happening, then we can allow that to happen. Again, यहाँ पे एक चीज जो काफी लोग मिस कर जाते हैं, trying to tackle the core issue. Now there can be some symptoms कि अगर कोई issue हो रहा है कि जैसे forest in the hotel question that we were discussing कि hotel वाlas are flaunting some rules and हमने उनको punish कर दिया, right? So that is done, but how do you ensure that is not repeated? There is some underlying cause, just underlying loophole in the law जिसको maybe उन लोग exploit कर रहे हैं and फिर वो लोग ये चीज कर पा रहे हैं. तो जो core issue है that needs to be tackled. So at least something should be mentioned on how to tackle the core issue. Maybe that will be taken up with the higher authorities. Maybe you will create a committee about it, sit down, brainstorm, come up with ideas. But you have to highlight कि मुझे पता है कि ये सारे जो है ये symptoms हैं and इसका जो underlying cause है ये है and मैं इसको भी tackle करूँगा in the long run. So I think this was all that I had from my side, both for ethics and essay. That's it, sir.
Such an exceptional session today, I think so. Such an exceptional essay, beta. Very good. Shabash. I want to evaluate a few things before taking the questions. When she was talking about all these values and making notes and then taking notes from some of the selected candidates, taking notes from this institute, that institute, I want to say you have to own your own preparation. देखो जो future 21 लिख रहे हैं, 20 लिख रहे हैं, 22 लिख रहे हैं, etc. and all these coaching institutes, all these selected candidates, हम सब we are only going to support you up to a certain extent. That's it. उसके बाद अगर ऐसा हो सकता है that you don't need to write the things again and again. So आपने एक पेज यहाँ से उठा लिया, दो पेज यहाँ से उठा लिया, तीन पेज यहाँ से उठा लिया. जिसका लॉजिकल फ्लो है वो आपको खुद डिसाइड करना पड़ेगा. So unless and until you own your own preparation, तब तक बात नहीं चलेगी. कोई कोचिंग इंस्टीट्यूट कोई आपका सिलेक्शन नहीं करा सकता है. That is not possible. So first thing that you have to keep in your mind is you have to own your own preparation, and then there can be some good source and bad source and all these things. So उसको priority orders में लेके जाना. But if you think that you can outsource the hard work to somebody else, to us or to anybody else, वो नहीं हो पाएगा. आपको खुद से पढ़ना पड़ेगा. We can only give you a support up to a certain extent, which is all obviously which is required. अगर इनको 4th रैंकर का 2nd रैंकर के नोट्स नहीं मिलते, कुछ और नहीं होता, तो maybe she could have spent 2 months in getting all those notes, जो उसको रेडीमेड मिल गया. So उस वे में जो ड्यूरेशन है वो कम हो जाता है आपका. But unless and until you own your own preparation, तो फिर वो सिलेक्शन नहीं होता है, बस फिर वो कंटिन्यूअस फेज में चलते चले जाते हैं. Second thing is related to the quotes. So quotes which you mentioned कि she avoided. So देखो यूपीएससी के प्रिपरेशन में जैसे इवॉल्व हो रही है, यूपीएससी के टाइप्स ऑफ आंसर्स इवॉल्व हो रहे हैं, हम कोचिंग इंस्टीट्यूट्स वाले इवॉल्व हो रहे हैं, बच्चा इवॉल्व हो रहा है, इवैल्यूएटर इवॉल्व हो रहा है, तो वो कोड्स अब उसका रिलेवेंस थोड़ा सा कम होता चला जा रहा है. जैसे अगर आप जीएस के बाकी क्वेश्चंस में देखोगे तो जो हब एंड स्पोक का डायग्राम है, सर्कल बनाया और साइड में कर दिया, वो अब यूटिलिटी खत्म हो गया. नाउ इट इज पेरिश्ड. तो अब आपको छोटे छोटे माइक्रो डायग्राम्स बनाने हैं, एटसेट्रा एंड ऑल. सिमिलरली इन केस ऑफ द एसे, वो कोड्स वाला या एथिक्स वाला कोड्स वो खत्म नहीं हुआ है, बट या इट इज ऑलमोस्ट 2-3 साल में वो खत्म हो जाएगा. तो ये जो डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ स्टोरी टेलिंग जो बता रहे थे सिमी, उस पे थोड़ा सा फोकस करना. अगर उस पे आप कमांड क्रिएट कर पाए तो दैट इज गोइंग टू बी फॉर नेक्स्ट 4-5 years. तो डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ स्टोरी राइटिंग वगैरह आप देखो, इंडिविजुअल पे लिखो चाहे कैसे भी लिखो, बट या कोट्स पे आर्टिफिशियल क्रैमिंग ऑफ कोट्स एंड देन यू आर थिंकिंग कि मैंने वुमेन पे तो एक कोट्स लिख दिया है, बर्ड कैन नॉट फ्लाई विद वन विंग और समथिंग, और हो गया काम. सब पुराना हो गया है भाई, अभी उसको थोड़ा सा चेंज करना पड़ेगा आपको. तो जस्ट आर्टिफिशियली, हाँ अगर रिलेवेंट है तो आप लिख सकते हो. और जो हेडिंग्स बता रहे थे सिमी, थोड़ा कस्टमाइज हेडिंग्स लिखेंगे वो जो बता रहे हैं रियल में. सो थोड़ा आपको क्रैम करके अगेन यू हैव टू ओन दोज कोट्स और उनको छोटा करके कस्टमाइज करके आपको लिखना पड़ेगा. थोड़ा उसमें आपको एफर्ट्स डालना पड़ेगा. देखो एसे एंड एथिक्स मेक्स 500 मार्क्स, बट दे आर वेरी रिलेवेंट. आप कॉमन नॉलेज से जाओगे तो जो डिस्पैरिटी होती है ना मिनिमम मार्क्स और मैक्सिमम मार्क्स की, वो एसे में सबसे ज्यादा है. एसे में a candidate is also fetching 90 marks and a candidate is also fetching 150 marks. आपको किसी जीएस पेपर में नहीं मिलेगा. Nobody in GS 1, 2, 3, 4 is going to fetch 150 marks. आया ही नहीं है, वो तो फैक्ट्स आपके सामने है. तो जो 150 और 90 का डिफरेंस है ऐसे का, विच इज इजी. आपको सिर्फ कुछ पार्ट्स में डिवाइड करना है, सेक्शंस में डिवाइड करना है, कंटेंट देखना है, लॉजिकल फ्लो में लाना है और राइटिंग करना है. मतलब अगर आप जीएस पेपर 1 देखोगे तो आपको पूरा हिस्ट्री आना चाहिए, पूरा वर्ल्ड हिस्ट्री आना चाहिए, सारा ज्योग्राफी आना चाहिए, सारा सोसाइटी आना चाहिए, तब कहीं जाके आपके 250 मार्क्स बनेंगे. बट एसए के केस में ऐसा नहीं है, तो उसको अवॉइड मत करना. डोंट टेक एसए फॉर ग्रांटेड. I know candidates who fetch just 64 marks in essay. अब सोच लो 64 आके उसको IRS कस्टम मिला, अगर वो 64 की जगह 130 भी आ जाता उसका तो वो एएस में होता. तो डोंट टेक फॉर ग्रांटेड में मत लेना पैसे को. इस बार भी बहुत सारे लास्ट ईयर भी बच्चे थे जो 90s में अटक गए. एनीवेज, नेक्स्ट इज वन मोर थिंग व्हिच Simi was talking about, that make your essays more and more juicy. अब वो जूसी है या नहीं है वो एज एन टेक्निकल पर्सन इवैल्यूएट नहीं कर पाएगा. सो व्हिच शी वाज सजेस्टिंग कि अपने आसपास वाले नॉन यूपीएससी फील्ड्स के लोगों को दिखाओ, पेरेंट्स को दिखाओ, आसपास के फ्रेंड्स को दिखाओ, सो दैट दे कैन टेल यू कि वेदर योर एसे इज टेक्निकल और नॉट. अगर आपका पब्लिक एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन ऑप्शनल है तो हो सकता है आप पीपीपी के बहुत सारे कुछ कुछ लिख दोगे, बट दैट इज नॉट इज गोइंग टू फेच यू मोर मार्क्स. या राइटिंग मोर एंड मोर पेपर्स विल नॉट बी, यू विल नॉट बी एबल टू फेच मोर मार्क्स. तो वो वाले से काम नहीं चलने वाला है आपको. तो उसको एकदम जनरल रखना है एसेज को, उसको टेक्निकल मत बनाना. डोंट यूज योर ऑप्शनल नॉलेज इनटू दीज एसे. यू कैन ऑप्ट फॉर एन एसे, 4 में से एक आप ऑप्ट कर सकते हो जिसमें आपकी कमांड अच्छी है जो आपके ऑप्शनल से रिलेटेड है, बट डोंट मेक इट एज एन ऑप्शनल का पेपर. अदरवाइज वो एक्सेप्शनली लो मार्क्स तभी आते हैं. वो जो मैं 60, 70, 80 बता रहा हूँ वो उसी वे में आते हैं. देन ये definition of values वाला, just the last thing which I want to add is in case of the definition of values, वो definition के मैं suggest करूंगा आप अपने खुद के notes बना लो भाई, कहीं से भी उठाओ, नेट से उठाओ, गूगल से उठाओ, but at least you should know कि this particular definition, अगर आपको पता है कि openness क्या है तो उसको आधे पेज में लिख लो कि भाई openness होता क्या है, आपके अकॉर्डिंग क्या होता है, definition क्या होता है. तो अगर आपको perseverance, आपको एक technical definition मिल जाएगी, बट अगर आप हाफ पेज में अपने वर्ड्स में उसको लिखोगे which will stand out, and so that you can use perseverance and objectivity and openness and transparency in multiple ways. अगर आपने खुद के नोट्स नहीं बताए हैं तो आपने सिर्फ एक राइटर का पर्सपेक्टिव देखा है बस, आपको एग्जैक्टली पता ही नहीं है कि ट्रांसपेरेंसी और ओपननेस में क्या डिफरेंस है. आपने डेफिनेशन देखा, एक एक डिफरेंस देखा और काम खत्म हो गया. सो एटलीस्ट ये जो वैल्यूज हैं उसकी मैं अरेंज करा दूंगा किसी न किसी बच्चे से. I'll share a list of some 40-50 values और these keywords जो आपको खुद से पढ़ना पड़ेगा. आप किसी भी कोचिंग के नोट्स रेफर कर लो, but still I suggest you कि ये आपको definitions खुद से देखने के लिए. बस I think so these are the things which I wanted to add other than what Simi gave. I think so today I'm not feeling very good. मेरे से ज्यादा अच्छा Simi बोल रही थी, but it's okay. कभी कभी बच्चा गुरु से अच्छा बोलता है. It's okay. No, it was really genuinely it was such a great session, beta. Shabash. Okay, we have few questions. Wait. Q&A वाले में it's going late. Telegram link last में किया था, मैं देता हूँ, शेयर करता हूँ. Please ask some questions related to studies. हो गया वो. Question: does she made notes? If yes, then how many times she revised these notes? So if you're asking about essay के लिए कुछ extra notes बनाया था क्या बेटा? Essay and ethics के लिए extra मतलब other than selected candidates के अलावा में आपने अपने खुद के कुछ notes बनाए थे क्या?
Sir, जैसे like when I was seeing जैसे अनुदीप द्विवेदी शेट्टी सर के notes, तो मैंने environment topic देखा, उनका example देखा. I was trying to think about an example by myself. वैसा ही एक story खुद से बोलने की कोशिश की. So that kind of exercise helped me in the actual exam.
Yes. Okay. Then we have 12th class का बच्चा है, IAS preparation बहुत time है, some other session. Which pen she usually refer to writing the mains? अब समझ में आ रहा है जो मैं क्लास में बताता था कि कौन सा पेन यूज करना है, ये क्वेश्चन रिलेवेंट होता है. आप बताओ.
ब्लू कलर का एक जेल पेन था. मतलब the body was also blue, मुझे उसकी नाम नहीं याद आ रही अभी.
Okay, it's okay, fine. We'll share later on. कौन सा था? UEP after prelims ले लो भाई जब लेना होता हम लोग. QEP, how QEP help you for essay writing?
So again QEP में sir used to give a lot of keywords. Then कुछ ऐसे sentences थे. So there was this one particular sentence that I remember कि if we neglect this the thread of this and this, then the entire fabric of economic and social development will suffer. So there I put in the keyword of primary healthcare and education. If we neglect the primary healthcare and education, the entire fabric of this will tear and stream. So these are the sentences that I try to remember, and the keywords. Keywords are very important.
This year से we started giving separate quotes, theme wise quotes और keywords and all. वो feedback था तो हमने और extra उसमें किया है. I just started preparation. If I'm targeting 2021, so how should I go? Is it possible with less than 10 months to cover the whole syllabus? You're asking this question to the एकदम relevant बच्चा. Of course, I think you genuinely अगर हम देखें तो other than वो toppers और magazines वाला वो सब छोड़ भी दें तो I think so you hardly prepared for 7-8 months, right?
Yes sir, but the fact is कि मेरा जो background अगर हम देखें तो I had a good understanding. तो अगर आपको लगता है कि आपकी understanding अच्छी है तो आप definitely कर सकते हैं. It's just that you'll have to put in a lot of hard work because आप समझ रहे you are trying to compete with people who had 2-3 years to prepare. तो ये clear कर लीजिए कि आपकी target क्या है and then don't ask it 2 or 3 times कि कर सकते हैं या नहीं.
How to develop thinking ability and to think in broad view and diverse views.
बुक्स पढ़िए और नॉन फिक्शन फिक्शन बुक्स जो पढ़ने पढ़िए जो भी इंडियन हिस्ट्री ज्योग्राफी इकोनॉमी सोसाइटी वाले टॉपिक्स टाइप से रेलेवेंट हो. आई थिंक इट रियली ओपन्स अप योर माइंड टू थिंक फ्रॉम अ ब्रॉडर पर्सपेक्टिव.
बट अभी टाइम नहीं है. अगर 2021 लिख रहे हो तो अभी स्टडीज से रिलेटेड ही पढ़ना. आफ्टर मेंस हम लोग पढ़ेंगे. बट अगर 22 लिख रहे हो देन यू हैव टाइम. हाउ मच टाइम डिड यू स्पेंड इन प्रिपरेशन ऑफ एथिक्स एंड एसेज? Quantifiable or not quantifiable? It was not a watertight compartmentalization preparation में कि ये separate मेरा essay का हो गया. अगर आपने ethics का कुछ पढ़ा है आप same philosophical essay में use करोगे. कुछ essay का पढ़ा है तो आप हो सकता है ethics में use करोगे. So compartmentalize करना I don't think so possible है और suggested भी नहीं है कि आप उसको fix करो कि मैं 15 दिन ऐसे पढ़ने वाले हैं या 20 दिन.
I started post prelims if that is relevant, but I don't think you should do that. अगर आप 2021 target करें क्योंकि अभी आपके पास समय है up till December or even till February you can finish off especially the GS4 का part. essay वाला part आप post prelims भी कर सकते हैं.
Yes, how many essay one should practice beforehand?
Personal preference.
एक दो तो मैंने देखे थे मतलब but it is very difficult to attain such maturity in writing answers जो सिमी का था अगर आप नहीं लिखो. So other than simi I suggest at least you should write 8 to 10. Did you refer to Yojana magazines for essay fodder material?
No sir.
Hello, am I audible?
Hello.
Okay. Is it possible to write certain quotes which are actually said in Hindi but we write the same in English?
Yes, you can write them. Like I said, the example कथनी और करनी रहे एक सी. This you can write in English. Yes, that can be
done. Please remain active on Quora to resolve our problems. I think blog में नीचे comments के sections होते हैं. So she is very much active on her blog. उनका link मैं अभी आपको share करूँ. So या आप सिर्फ share कर देना so that बच्चे वहाँ से कर पाएंगे ऐसा. Next question is, now my English is weak and writing so chances of grammatical mistakes and all. Before Simi answers, I think so this is essay is not your English ka paper. So some it's not that Am I audible?
So I think my network is a little weak.
I don't think so. Your network is weak. It looks like my network is weak.
Okay. Yes, sir. Your network is.
Okay. Just 1 second. Okay, then few more questions I want to take. Yeah, so I was saying that this is not an English paper. So it is an essay paper. There should be a logical flow of these things rather than focusing only upon the grammar. Of course, your grammar on the face should not be, it should not give an impression that your English is weak. But other than that, I think so acceptable hai. Maybe small grammatical mistakes are acceptable. Schedule the syllabus. How, which is more important, current issues or thinkers? Simi, can you hear me?
So can you repeat the question?
बेटा आपकी voice नहीं आ रही है. Mute also.
Hello.
Yeah, one second. The question was, which is more important, current issues or thinkers in essays?
I don't think the debate here is between current issues and thinkers. It's more between the values, the different foundational values, principles, etc. versus thinkers. I think you can give more preference to the foundational values, etc.
Till which month we should read newspaper for prelims as well as for mains?
For prelims, I think the last 20-25 days you can stop reading.
Because according to me, before Simi answers, according to me, newspaper. Yeah, please continue.
So you can answer this question.
Okay. So in case of newspaper, don't take newspaper as a book. It's a kind of something which makes your mind more fertile. So it's a continuous process. If you can afford to read the newspaper maybe just 1 week or 10 days before prelims exam, I suggest usko dekho. In case of the mains, I suggest last day tak dekhna. Because usually student time कितना देना है, that is something different. Because usually student जो mains आपके competitors होंगे, they will leave approximately 15 to 20 days before the exam. So जो recent examples होते हैं ना, for example अगर 17th और 18th September को आपका mains होगा next year, या फिर 8th of January से है या 7th of January से है. So the examples, if you are quoting from last week of December or first week of January, they will be distinguished in comparison to your competitors. So mains का तो मैं suggest करता हूँ कि आप बस एक हफ्ता अगर मैक्स टू मैक्स छोड़ना है तो छोड़ दो. प्री के केस में आप बिफोर 10 days आई थिंक यू कैन अफोर्ड टू स्किप. बट डोंट कंसीडर कि न्यूज़पेपर से डायरेक्टली कोई क्वेश्चन आने वाला है. नो, न्यूज़पेपर विल बी बेनिफिशियल इन केस ऑफ एनरिचिंग योर आंसर्स, इन केस ऑफ मेंस. Then we have questions like QEP 2021 कब स्टार्ट होगा? यार देखो, नेक्स्ट ईयर QEP प्री और मेंस में हार्डली 2.5 months हैं. सो वाला ही आप ज्वाइन करो जब भी ज्वाइन करना हो, बॉटनी और जूलॉजी और एंथ्रो. पता नहीं है, स्पून फीडिंग नहीं करते हैं हम लोग. सो यू शुड गिव मी द ऑप्शन कि बॉटनी में ये है, जूलॉजी में ये है और एंथ्रो में ये है, देन ओनली वी कैन सजेस्ट. How to read books faster and comprehensively? Read more and more books, that will help you. Ma'am, please suggest from where should ethics be started from the beginner of ethics? Simi, आपके लिए question है बेटा.
Sir, I think सीधा they can pick up Lukman Ayers के notes or whichever basic book you are referring to. इसके लिए उसके पहले और कुछ पढ़ने की जरूरत नहीं. दो
अपने कोचिंग इंस्टीट्यूट मतलब एथिक्स के केस में बेनिफिट और लॉस होता है कंटेंट का. अगर आप कोई स्टैंडर्ड बुक पढ़ेंगे, उसका पॉजिटिव है कि लैंग्वेज इजी टू अंडरस्टैंड, इजी टू कॉम्प्रिहेंड है. बट द नेगेटिव विल बी आपको करंट एग्जांपल्स नहीं मिलेंगे उसमें. और बहुत रेलेवेंट एग्जांपल्स नहीं मिलेंगे। कोचिंग में जो सिमी बता रहे हैं, अगर लोकमान या किसी के भी आप नोट्स पढ़ोगे, उसका बेनिफिट ये होगा कि वो कनेक्टेड तो नहीं होगा, बिकॉज क्लास के नोट्स हैं, क्लास में समझाते अलग हैं, नोट्स अलग बनते हैं, दैट इज, बट आपको एग्जांपल्स अच्छे मिलेंगे वहां पे। सो आपको एग्जांपल्स एंड कुछ समथिंग डिफरेंट मिलेगा आपको, बिकॉज दैट क्लास नोट्स आर द अमलगमेशन ऑफ एफर्ट्स ऑफ फैकल्टी, एफर्ट्स ऑफ अ नंबर ऑफ कंटेंट डेवलपर्स। सो वो आपको दोनों को ही पढ़ना मैं सजेस्ट करता हूँ, आपको दोनों चीज पढ़नी चाहिए। कोचिंग के नोट्स से आपको वो एग्जांपल्स मिल जाएंगे जो सिमी बता रहे हैं, और रेडीमेड बुक से आपको कॉम्प्रिहेंड राइटिंग मिल जाएगा आपको, बिकॉज कोचिंग वाले में के इकोसिस्टम में बैठ के बच्चा लिखता है। Then we have there is a question related to the keywords, also the keywords case where in I get these keywords. लास्ट ईयर के कीवर्ड्स हमारे टेलीग्राम चैनल पे हैं, इस साल के कीवर्ड्स कुछ कुछ मिलेंगे आपको। बाकी कीवर्ड्स थीम वाइज एंड ऑल दे आर द कंपोनेंट्स ऑफ क्यूईपी प्रोग्राम, वहां पे मिलेगा। और उसके जो फ्री सेशंस अगर कुछ होंगे तो वो प्री मेंस के बीच में मिलेंगे आपको। I think Simi shared the इनके ब्लॉग्स का लिंक उन्होंने शेयर किया है at 5:50 PM। आप देख लेना बाकी सब स्टूडेंट्स, in case you guys missed it. Voice is fluctuating, sorry यार, कुछ तो नेटवर्क का इशू था। Yes, I think so, that's it। उसके लिए ठीक है, so we'll wrap up। I think Simi, thanks for your time beta, it was such a great session, thank you, thanks a lot। I'm again telling you guys that I'm not sure how much relevant this session was for you, but yes, I'm telling you this session जब आप exact preparation mode में आओगे या अगर basic notes होगा तब इसके लिए, ठीक है? Okay, bye bye।
Thank you sir।